It's starting with Rome's arrogance and the illusion of control. For years, Rome believed Germania would bend the knee, just as Gaul had under Julius Caesar. Emperor Augustus saw the vast forests beyond the Rhine as the next jewel in Rome's crown. To tame these barbarians, he sent Publius Quintilius Varus, a man more politician than warrior. Varus had governed Syria with an iron fist, crushing rebellions with ease. But Germania was different. The land was wild, the tribes proud, and they had no love for Rome's taxes or laws. Varus marched into Germania with three full legions, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, over 20,000 of Rome's finest soldiers. Alongside them marched cavalry, auxiliaries, and even wives and children of the legionaries. This wasn't just a military campaign, it was a statement. Rome was here to stay. Part 1. Arminius, the wolf in Roman clothing. Among Varus's most trusted advisors was a young Germanic prince named Arminius. Taken as a hostage as a boy, he had been raised in Rome, trained as an equestrian, and even granted the rare honor of Roman citizenship. He spoke Latin fluently, wore a toga, and knew Rome's battle tactics better than most generals. But beneath that polished exterior burned a fire of hatred. He had not forgotten his people. He had not forgotten his homeland. In secret, Arminius had been uniting the fractious Germanic tribes, the Cherushi, the Bructeri, the Marsi, whispering of a day when they could strike as one. And now, with Varus leading his legions deep into the forest, the perfect opportunity had come. Part 2. The trap is sprung. It began with a lie. Arminius fed Varus reports of a distant rebellion, a minor uprising that needed quick suppression. Varus, confident in his legions and trusting his Germanic advisor, ordered a detour into the dense Teutoburg Forest. The path was narrow, the ground uneven. The rain made it worse. Wagons got stuck. Soldiers slipped in the mud. The column stretched for miles, vulnerable, disorganized. Then a horn blast echoed through the trees. The first spear flew from the shadows, striking a centurion in the throat. Before the Romans could react, a storm of javelins rained down. From the mist, warriors emerged, howling, swinging axes, hacking at the trapped legionaries. The Romans couldn't form their shield walls, they couldn't retreat. The forest itself had turned against them. Part 3. 3 days of carnage. For 3 days the slaughter continued. The Germanic warriors, knowing the terrain, struck and melted back into the trees. They sabotaged escape routes, poisoned water sources, and picked off stragglers. The Romans, trained for open battle, were butchered in the claustrophobic woods. Some fought bravely to the last man. Others broke and ran, only to be hunted down. Varus, realizing the magnitude of his mistake, did what any disgraced Roman commander would do. He fell on his own sword rather than face capture. His legions were wiped out. The few survivors were sacrificed to Germanic gods or enslaved. The eagles, the sacred standards of the legions, were taken as trophies. Part 4. The shockwaves of defeat. When word reached Rome, the empire was stunned. Augustus, in his grief, was said to have wandered the palace, crying out, "Quintilius Varus, give me back my legions." The disaster was so complete that the numbers of the three legions, 17th, 18th, and 19th, were never used again. Rome's expansion into Germania was over. As for Arminius, he became a legend among his people, a symbol of defiance against the might of Rome. But his story didn't end happily. Years later, he was betrayed and killed by his own kin, a fate all too common for men who rise too high. Closing thoughts. The ghosts of Teutoburg. Even today, the Teutoburg Forest whispers of that battle. Archaeologists still find Roman armor buried in the mud, skeletons with wounds that tell of a desperate last stand. It was more than a defeat, it was a lesson that no empire, no matter how powerful, can truly conquer the will of a people fighting for their home. So what do you think? Was Arminius a hero who saved his people or a traitor who betrayed his Roman allies? And could Varus have survived if he had been less trusting? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more tales of history's most epic battles, don't forget to like and subscribe.